Crazy week for clowns making absolute fools of themselves at sporting events in the stands. We had the Polish millionaire CEO who stole the hat from that kid, and now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the clip, we have this Karen at a Phillies game steal a baseball from a kid. Now, I haven't used the word Karen in a while. It's been many moons since that's left my lips. It's nomenclature I've retired. It became too oversaturated and started losing its meaning. But come on, look at her. It's like she was made in a lab to be a Karen. It's like if Meat Canyon made a caricature of a Karen. She just epitomizes the meaning behind the insult. Like, it is hard not to refer to her as a Karen. Now, when I first saw this clip, I thought it was scripted. I thought this is one of those, like, planted actor moments that a lot of sporting teams do, like, where they have actors pretend like the guy's proposing to the girl and she says no and spits on him, pours her drink over his head, that kind of thing. But it's all fake, part of the show, just to be entertaining. This is just, like, so perfect that I thought it was probably just make-believe, just for the sake of, like, a viral clip. It's apparently real. I thought for sure this was just someone playing the role of a Karen, like wearing a wig and shit with the attitude, and the way the guy reacts to her approach is like cartoonish, where he like freaks out and he like throws up his hands like he's about to fight, but he does like one of these and kind of reacts the same way my mom used to during jump scares in horror movies. But it's real. And the reason he reacted that way is because she ran up on him when he wasn't looking and fucking shouted at him. So it actually did jump scare him. Like, I totally understand his reaction now after seeing the other angles. I'll show you the other angles in just a moment. But the father didn't want to keep, like, arguing with her. It seems like he just wanted that shit to end ASAP. So he put the kibosh on it by just saying, here, fine, take the ball. Just leave us alone, you fucking Scrooge. Just get out of here. You know, just scram. So, like, he's just like, okay, whatever, take the ball. And she leaves. So now she has taken the ball away from that guy's son. Because he got the ball and immediately gave it to his son. And the kid looks very upset about it. Not that it looks like the lady gives a fuck at all. This might be the happiest moment of her life. It looks like she feeds off misery. She's like a fucking Dementor here, making sure that she saps the fun away from the other people in the stands. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Let me show you another angle, though, of her talking. Talking is not the right word for it. Yelling at the guy. God, the voice of a banshee. She is screeching at him about how he took it from her. So she is claiming that when the ball was hit into the stands, she had her hands on it first and he ripped it out of her paws. I decided to break out my monocle and cosplay as a detective here, seeing if I could find evidence to support her claim that she had it first and he took it from her hands. So I decided to walk it through state-of-the-art technology and put it into slow motion here, so that way I could try and analyze the footage to see if I could find any proof of the claim. But unfortunately, there are no conclusive results because the individual in the green shirt in front there blocks it, which kind of like censors what happens. But trying to activate my mind's eye here and like try x-ray vision, it looks like she and the guy next to her do actually like get close to the ball. But from where the guy in the red shirt gets it, it seems too far away for them to have reached it. So I think what happened is they might have like tried to get it and they might have like even, you know, touched it, but it doesn't look like they ever actually grabbed it. It looks more like they were trying to recover a fumble in football and it got away from them. Plus, I don't see any like obvious ripping motion from the dad here. Like if he ripped it out of her hands, you would see him like have like resistance, like he'd have to like pull it away from something, but instead it looks more like he just grabs it and then walks away with it. If she was actually holding on to it and he tore it from her hands like she's claiming, there would have been like a struggle, like resistance there, which I just don't see in the clip. So I find her claims a bit dubious. It's hard to know for sure with 100% certainty, obviously, because you can't see it, but it just doesn't, like, what I can tell doesn't lead me to believe that she's right, that he took it away from them. To me, it seems like she believes the ball belonged to her because it did, like, hit their seats. You can actually see it hit the seats, like, closest to them in this other angle here, but it doesn't look like they ever actually got their hands on it. It doesn't look like she ever actually had the ball, like gripped it, or maybe even touched it. Like, I'm not even sure she ever even, like, actually touched the ball at any point. It looked like it rolled away from them after it hit the chairs. You see what I mean? I don't think she ever actually had the ball. I think there's a bunch of barnacles that she's trying to pull here, and then, like, attacking the guy to get the ball back to her. It's hers, it's her precious. And then he just decides to stop all this, hoopla. Which actually ended up being a really good decision because his son got more than just a baseball. The kid actually did get to go get a signed bat from one of the Phillies players. So it ended up working out really well there. And now this lady just has a ball that's got a lot of, like, fucking cursed energy on it now from this absolute fucking diabolical display that she put on. Now, I would like to show you, though, that she doesn't just take out her wrath on this father here. All the people around them were making fun of her for it, so she went, like, up into some other guy's face yelling at him.
Yeah, you tell it! Woo! Oh, shit!
I had to cut the audio from this part here because of a song that plays during it, but she gets right up in this guy's face barking at him. So I'm guessing he was saying something about, like, her behavior being embarrassing or something, so she did not take that lightly.
The classes are up! Karen is ready! Put your glasses on!
The guy filming this had me giggling when he went full Adam Sandler there at the end. Jeremy! Doing one of those. But yeah, everyone around them that saw this happen is now making fun of her. And she's very upset about it, so she literally goes into that guy's face, like, hooting and hollering, and then she's, like, bragging about, having the ball now, this and that. So she seems pretty insufferable. From everything I've seen, I don't think there is anything to support her side of the story that she had the ball and this guy ripped it from her hands. I see nothing to indicate that being the case. And it seems like even, Phillies and Marlins here, like the actual organizations, are on the father's side here, that what happened was pretty uncalled for. Anyway, though, I wanted to talk about this a bit because everyone is dunking on her right now. This is once again blown up to the same levels as, like, the Polish CEO. It's pretty crazy how often this is happening now. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a bit. That's it. So yeah. Yeah, I just hate this guy I'm about to yap about. He's a degenerate streamer that no one really watches in the first place. His career is a bigger flop than the new Snow White movie. And apparently he's been banned numerous times from basically every streaming platform, but he keeps crawling his way back like the little roach that he is. And even though he's a public nuisance that's perpetually goober-maxing, he doesn't even really have a community of people that follow him ironically. Typically, with a special specimen like this, there will be people that tune in just to watch all of the madness unfold and point and laugh at the guy. But he doesn't even have that because he is just so unbelievably lame. He's such a colossal loser that it's not even fun to watch him ruin his life. Like, you get more entertainment out of a knock-knock joke than tuning into this guy's streams. He's a pile of shit that not even mosquitoes will fly around, and there is an endless supply of things you can easily shoot spitballs at when it comes to this guy, but there's one in particular that I want to focus on, and the whole reason I'm making this. How often and how proudly he abuses his dog on stream.
Hey!
Okay, no.
Come here.
Stop.
Stop!
Come here.
Don't fucking hit the dog.
That's my dog.
No, you don't fucking
That's
grab
my
her.
fucking dog. I do what the fuck I want
No,
with
you
my
don't
dog.
grab the
Don't
fucking
tell
dog.
me what I do when I'm out. Bro, this bitch is thinking she gave me a fucking...
Don't grab Stop! Baby, stop! What are you doing?
She knows because she knows she'll get hurt if she don't listen.
I imagine this brain-dead moron can't spell the word context, but I already know, in defense of this clip, he would try and point to the longer version for the full scoop, because you're only taking a snippet of it, it's out of context. Even though there's really no amount of context that justifies hitting your dog and making the dog yelp in pain, and then forcefully dragging it back into the room to throw onto your chair. But if you want the full version of this clip, which is also equally hard to watch and also still paints a very bad picture of this piece of shit, I'll go ahead and show you that too.
Come here.
It's okay.
Come here.
Peaches.
Come here, Peaches. Don't, bro, this bitch is thinking she gave me a fucking...
Don't grab Stop! Baby, stop! What are you doing?
This is my fucking dog. I don't give a fuck. Stay! Hey!
Stop!
Hey!
Stop!
Stay! This is my fucking dog. I don't give a fuck. You don't You're not taking my dog away from me. I don't give a fuck. You're not taking my fucking dog away from me.
She's in
The fuck,
pain.
stay.
Stop.
You're not taking my fucking dog away from me. I don't give a fuck who you think you are.
The girl in the clip is trying to calm this raging dork down and try and remove the dog from a dangerous situation here from him. And he continues to fucking fee-fi-fo-fum his way around there and forcefully grabbing the dog and slamming it onto his chair, which again causes the dog to scream in pain and try and run away in terror from this menace. And I am pretty sure he tries to paint this as like a... oh, I just love my dog, and she was trying to separate me from my dog. This bitch is trying to take my dog. You won't take my dog away from me, my beloved pet that I cherish, which is a bunch of dirty barnacles. He makes the dog cry multiple times here. The girl even points out, like, stop hitting the dog, and then at the end of that clip, he does, like, try and rub the dog's chest after he has slammed the dog onto that chair multiple times. He needs to have this dog removed from him. This is not fair to that animal at all.
That's so bad.
I'm literally gonna fucking kill this dog, bro.
This is not good.
You never come to that. You ever had cage for 24 hours now, dumb bitch. Fuck it. Never know. Staying there for the rest of her fucking life. She's staying in there for the rest of her fucking life. Fuck all that. That bitch is staying in there forever. Fuck that dog. I hope she fucking cries. I hope she fucking wants to commit suicide, that dumb bitch. I hope she jumps off the fucking balcony.
Wow, yeah, you can really feel the love. Regular old John Wick here with the amount that he cares for this animal. What a sane human being this is. It's fucking unhinged, man. In so many clips, this girl is constantly trying to get him to stop hitting the dog and stop, like, being really mean to the dog and, like, locking it up and threatening it.
I will fucking kill you in front of everyone right here. I will fucking kill you. Right now, I will fucking kill you right in front of fucking everyone. I will fucking kill you. Alright? I will fucking kill you right here. I will break your fucking neck right here. Sit the fuck down.
Dog, I'll literally kill this dog. I literally will kill this dog.
This is why this is her
Fucking sit.
Lay down. Lay down. Do you want more water?
Fucking stupid dog. I hope you fucking...
Just look at some of these messages in his chat from these loveless, dickless homunculi. They get so excited every time he starts to talk about killing his dog or when he starts hitting his dog. So like this first one, Peaches need to be strangled. That's his dog's name. Clearly not a service dog. Beat that dumb service dog up. Bad dumb dog. Like, what the fuck? He is addicted to talking to his dog like it's a League of Legends ranked game. Like, this kind of shit here he tries to downplay as, like, not being super serious, and the community tries to delude themselves into thinking that he's just trolling, but I think it's pretty clear he does mean these things. He actively hits his dog. I think it's pretty clear we have a lot of evidence to indicate that he means this vile shit that he's spouting about his dog. I am also very shocked that I even used that nomenclature, community, to describe what he has, because that's not what he has. He has like 4 people that tune in occasionally, and make like one message in chat every 10 minutes. Like, you can see it for yourself. The proof is in the pudding. Somehow this brain-dead worm thought it'd be a good idea to post his dead chat on screen, and that shit is not moving. That's going at a glacial pace. You're seeing more activity on Yahoo Answers than you will in one of his streams, and Yahoo Answers has been shut down, buried in the dirt for like 9 years. I cannot believe that he even puts that up there on his own accord. So he doesn't really have a viewer base or anything like that. But it doesn't matter. I couldn't help but talk about this guy because this is just infuriating. And I haven't seen another streamer so proudly just abuse their pet on stream like this. It's craziness.
Give it up. Give it up.
She is a pillhead and a borderline personality cunt. She is like only use me Blades X. Dealing. She is bad
If you
news.
don't shut up, if you don't shut your mouth, okay? If you don't shut your mouth, it's gonna be bad. If you don't shut your mouth, it's gonna be bad. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
This isn't all of them, but I don't think there's any need to show you more. This kind of thing is just heartbreaking. That dog seems like such a sweetheart that does not deserve to have an owner like this. No dog does. This shit is just so foul. Yeah, like, and another thing he'll do is he'll hit the dog really hard. He'll hit Peaches hard as fuck, and then very lightly, like in that first clip where he was sleeping. In fact, most of the clips you can find of this guy are sleeping on stream. That's like the main thing he does, is just fucking hibernate and hope people will donate while he's asleep. But anyway, you saw him lean over and just clobber Peaches on the snout, and then lightly tap Peaches on the head. And then he even had the gall to make a gesture up here to try and invite Peaches to come sleep on his chest. It's crazy how often and how proudly he does this shit, and even more crazy that there's like 6 or 7 weirdos that'll watch and cheer him on, encouraging the behavior. And I imagine that's a big motivator for this guy. He'll just bring Peaches on stream, threaten to kill the dog, and hit the dog quite a bit, and get some cheers and applause from these absolute fucking vermin that are watching him. But like I said, most of his clips that you'll find are him sleeping. That seems to be like the bulk of what he does, is just go to sleep while filming it. But his most popular clip isn't from his snoozing streams. It's actually from him threatening to shoot some kids. Like inviting them out so he can shoot them.
Where are you from? What's the
I'm
background?
from Toronto, kid. Pull up. Pull up. Your little ass gun that you never shot in your life. Show me the bullet.
No, man.
Exactly, you fucking fake ass gun, boy. Yeah, come pull up, boy. Come pull up.
Alright, let's
Please
fucking
come to
do
Toronto,
this,
pussy
mate.
boy.
Let's fucking do this. Alright, I'm gonna
Please come to
fucking bring my
Toronto.
fucking
Please come to
deal with
Please
it,
come to
man.
Toronto, pussy boy.
Big
Come to Toronto.
3LK though, on or no.
Okay, yeah, really come to Toronto now. Really come to Toronto, pussy boy. Don't remember, I'll see you around, kid, and I'm gonna fucking light you up in them hollows. I swear to God I will.
Show me.
I'm my mom's life, and I ain't a federal little boy. I'm streaming right now, pussy boy. Yeah, come to Toronto. Record this, bitch, boy. Record this, pussy boy. Oh yeah. Record like a good little bitch. Record like a good little bitch.
Incredible stuff. Riveting, really. I don't know the whole lore here of everything that happened. That seems like some real degenerate shit across the board. But I will say, that insult of like, record like a good little bitch, that falls really flat when you yourself are also recording. Brother, you're streaming it. That's two sides of the same coin. In fact, that's a step above recording it. Not exactly the optimal insult there. You kind of took some self-sustained damage on that one too. You hurt yourself in the confusion there as well, since that also included you. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this guy because I just can't fucking stand him. I think that this is completely unacceptable behavior to just be abusing your dog on stream. I think that shit super sucks. That's about it. See ya. There's a long list of people I'll never have respect for. Cheaters, drunk drivers, animal abusers, murderers. Yeah, that's right. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not gonna censor myself. I think you gotta be a real jerk to kill someone. Standing wipers is another one. I don't understand what kind of psychopath would stand up after doing their business to wipe when the toilet seat already spreads your cheeks, giving you the optimal angle of entrance to your butthole. Doesn't make any sense. You're adding extra steps and more of a nuisance. And another thing that I'll never have respect for are pathetic scumbags that abuse the YouTube strike system because their feelings got hurt. And that has been happening quite a bit lately on the platform. It's been an incredible week for little slimy weasels that like to use the YouTube strike system because someone made a video they weren't overly happy about. So I wanted to march on in here and administer some wedgies and shoot spitballs at these fucking dweebs that are doing this disgusting weenie behavior where they're abusing this YouTube system to try and get rid of videos that said not nice things about their content. The first one I want to cover is from this YouTube channel, Penguinz0. They received a copyright strike from another YouTuber named The Manny Show. I'll go ahead and play a clip from this video that explains it.
That one of my videos had a copyright takedown, which is very new to my channel. The video in question that was taken down is why everyone hates The Manny Show. And the YouTube automated email says, "Hi Penguinz, we received a copyright removal request."
I was unfamiliar with The Manny Show before this situation, and I really missed 30 minutes ago when I was still in ignorant bliss about who this was, because this shit is insufferable. It's a massive YouTube channel that just aims to fill the shorts algorithm with brain rot content to try and farm subs off of it. It sucks. It super sucks. Copyright strikes are a huge deal. It's more than just the video getting taken down. It affects the entire channel. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the strike system on this platform. It's the nuclear option. When someone does that, it's a declaration of war, and that's when things get extremely serious. And it's also an unforgivable sin on the internet. If you ever have that little devil on your shoulder that convinces you to file a copyright strike, just know that blemish is gonna haunt you for the rest of your fucking life on the cyberspace. People don't forget that. So if you're filing a strike on a channel, you better hope that that channel is publicly beheading puppies or something, because otherwise, everyone's going to hate you for it forever. Strikes, in an ideal world, would be reserved for repeat offender channels that are publishing like borderline criminal content. Anything aside from that, and you could just file a normal copyright claim and block. You don't have to choose to strike the channel. You can just take down the video you think is in violation of your copyright or whatever, and have that be that. But when you go the extra step here and put the cherry on top of the shit cake with a strike, then it becomes a huge deal. But in a situation like this, the Manny Show would still very much be in the wrong, even if they took the lesser of two evils and just removed the video without the strike. Because they have no grounds for removing the video whatsoever. They have no legs to stand on. It's a completely fraudulent claim that blatantly abuses YouTube's system. The channel that was struck, Penguinz0, is a commentary channel that will play a clip from a piece of content, let it play for like 10 or 15 seconds or so, and then talk about it, giving their commentary on whatever they're going over, whatever the subject is. Looking at the removal request, we can see that 13 seconds of the video was enough to lead the Manny Show to strike the entire fucking channel here. That's some fucking filthy fish paste right there. 13-second clip was enough to have the Manny Show bring the hammer down with the iron fist on the channel, because Penguinz0 was saying some less than stellar things about the Manny Show, I guess. But you can't strike someone because your feelings were hurt over what he was saying about your content. That's just not how it works. He hasn't violated any rules at all. You are totally fine to play bits and pieces from other content and then talk about it, transform it with your commentary, your jokes, your input, whatever it is. It's not like Penguinz0 took the entire video from the Manny Show and re-uploaded it without adding anything to it, without changing it whatsoever. There was no rules that were broken here, at least not from what I can tell. I also will just never understand this strategy of doing something like this, because as the Manny Show or part of the Manny Show team, you would have to know that Penguinz0 or any commentary channel ever would see this and immediately talk about it, because this is just a big no-no. This is like an unwritten rule on YouTube that you don't strike another YouTuber just because they hurt your feelings. That will always backfire on you in the biggest possible way, and it puts all of the eyes on you as the bad guy, as the villain. You won't get support for that. No matter what Penguinz0 was saying about you, and I can't go watch the video since it's been taken down, but I imagine he was calling him cringe or something. Now you have made things significantly worse for yourself. The video title that got taken down was Why Everyone Hates the Manny Show, and I don't know what the reason behind it was, but I can tell you what it will be now. The reason why everyone hates the Manny Show is because they're very sensitive and file false strikes on other YouTubers' channels. I can now answer that question for why people hate the Manny Show. And that's because of your actions. Not even because of your content, it's because what you've done when someone criticized you. It's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Speaking of dumb and stupid, we have the actual fucking mascot for those things, Tech Lead here. He is apparently still filing false DMCA claims. I just made a video talking about him. I called it Complete Loser. I went over his last fraudulent strike that he issued on Internet Anarchist. Mudahar posted this on June 29th, so only a couple days ago. This appears to be a screenshot of TechLead filing a DMCA takedown request. This is a classic SpongeBob, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man moment. This one is particularly enjoyable though because this means that YouTube automatically declined TechLead's attempt to falsely strike another channel. This doesn't happen super often with YouTube, but they do have measures in place to prevent offenders like TechLead from abusing these systems once they're made aware of it. So what happens, and I've seen it a couple of times, what happens is you take one of these fucking worms like TechLead, they file a takedown removal request. YouTube will then start processing it and realize that this is just a bunch of hooey. So YouTube will actually send you an email making you aware that someone tried to target a particular video for a particular reason. In Mudahar's case, that video from a TechLead segment. And they tell you that they are not going to take any action because they believe it's fair use, but they want to put it on your radar in case you want to do something with that information. The reason they state is in case you want to delete it just to be safe to avoid any kind of like legal ramifications if they decide to go above the YouTube strike system. So they just give you that information so that way you can plan your next steps accordingly, whether it's deleting the video or contacting the party directly. So that's why Mudahar has that copy there of the TechLead DMCA. It's because YouTube thought it was such a load of barnacles that they didn't even bother fucking with it. They just threw it into the trash pile right away, but sent a copy to Mudahar to basically use as toilet paper if he wants. That is so poetic for TechLead. YouTube won't even take him seriously anymore. I'm surprised they haven't taken legal action against him since he has openly on record admitted to abusing their system, which is a legal problem. That is actually him admitting to some very bad activity that YouTube could absolutely slap him for. And I think they probably will. This is leading me to believe that YouTube is now very much aware of TechLead and what he's doing, and I really think YouTube might take actual action against him for this garbage. Now maybe I'm huffing copium like crack here, but it really to me does seem like YouTube might do something. They're declining his DMCAs without even bothering to process them anymore because they must be aware that this is just bogus. Like it's fake, fraudulent. So maybe they'll do something against TechLead. I think they absolutely should. And this has nothing to do with his false DMCA takedown strike crusade that he's going on, but I have to talk about this because it was so pathetic. A few nights ago, actually by this point it's probably like 5 or 6 nights ago, maybe even like a week ago, I'm losing track of time, everything's blending together. But I was streaming Elden Ring, I was playing the DLC, and I saw TechLead poke his curious little head up in my chat. And he would cheer on whatever boss I was fighting at the time, like, go get him, demon guy, beat his ass, that kind of thing. You called me a complete loser? Well, look at you, you're dying to this Elden Ring boss, loser. And nobody in the chat even noticed he was there. He's such an insignificant fly that even his attempts to try and stir up shit in the chat didn't work. It just flew under the radar because no one gives a fuck about him. But I saw him because I'm always paying attention to the chat. It's the most fun about streaming is interacting with the community. So I saw TechLead in there, but I didn't call any attention to him. I just sat there and just looked at what he was saying. And I know he started fuming because I'm actually good at Elden Ring. So he came in during the Mother Finger boss fight, and it only took me like 5 tries or something on that boss. And he came in there at like the third or so try. So he only got to see me take 1, maybe 2 deaths until I beat the boss. And then he just had to sit there and say some other nonsense outside of that because I wasn't struggling on the bosses. And I just found it to be so embarrassing that this grown-ass man would take like 30, 40 minutes, whatever it was, out of his evening. And it was late too. It was like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that. To hopefully watch me struggle on Elden Ring bosses and then not even get the pleasure of seeing that. Now, if he came in later and saw me on the final boss, he would have had quite a spectacle because that boss is fucking brutal. That took me like almost 3 hours to beat. But he came on the bosses that I was able to just fucking slap around and put the smackdown on. And he just had to sit there and just say nonsense and no one responded to it. And I just see it and kind of like smile internally about it. I just had to point that out. I found that to be like so embarrassing. I don't know how he went to sleep that night with that level of shame. Going into my chat to try and start shit only to have no response from anybody. Just straight up crickets. So I had to mention that since we were already talking about this loser anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these two cases here because within just a week, we've already seen two YouTubers, again, falsely strike or attempt to strike other channels for nonsense reasons. And I think that shit sucks. That's about it. See ya. Calling someone a Redditor to their face in 2019 is a fighting phrase. It's like calling someone a cunt back in the 90s. It's a powerful insult. And I get asked all the time why I take a shit on Reddit or shit on Redditors and Reddit culture in general. And it's days like today that remind me exactly why I have such a shit view of Reddit and why the majority of people have almost no respect for the community. They are so goddamn unhelpful. Now, I'm saying they, and I'm a very frequent user of Reddit. I go on there almost daily. I like the posts. I like to go on specific subreddits and see the kind of shit going on in the world. I think as long as you don't go in the comments, it's a pretty goddamn decent site for the most part. But it's the second you accidentally get a little too adventurous, or perhaps you just forget the one sacred rule on the internet, the 11th commandment from God: don't go to the comments section on Reddit, because it's just goddamn embarrassing to even look at. It makes you feel bad for being on the site, seeing the mentally ill, socially rejected, downright depraved community that for some reason all kind of festers in the comment section on any post ever. Professional Reddit commenters who farm karma as if they're some type of drug kingpin and get this superiority complex. They watch 2 episodes of Rick and Morty and follow Bill Nye on Twitter, and all of a sudden they think they have all the answers and they're better than the person who initially posted the thread asking for help. Fucking Reddit commenters make YouTube commenters look like sane, cool kids at the lunch table. Okay, so why am I talking about this? I'm still fucking upset about this. Today, Andrew and I went to Beef O'Brady's, as is tradition after a hard workout, and Andrew's car had 2 spiders in it that we came across, so he wanted to look for a solution online as to the most efficient way to getting rid of the spiders. A little pest control action, just Google it, because that's what a modern man does. That's the efficient way of getting answers. Well, unfortunately, Google recommended Reddit threads. Our pro-sage life advice from a 14-year-old, how to do your taxes and get rid of the spiders in your car. Shit like that. Just a flurry of all of these Reddit posts addressing how to get rid of spiders. Now, at the time, we didn't even realize how infuriating that would be. But when we got to Beef's, we opened one of the links, and immediately every single top comment was a horrible, stupid fucking joke that's been said a million times before. Set the car on fire. I'm not kidding. Out of the 5 or 6 threads, that was pretty much the top on all of them. I'm going to show you 4 out of the 6 so it's not just overly redundant. I swear to God, these are all different posts and different people. Although they're not even really different people. They have no sense of individuality. They're just fucking regurgitating, vomiting, ass shitting out all kinds of shit that they read a million times before to try and farm that precious karma or make people think that they're a good comedian. I really don't know. But this is how all Reddit comments go. You go to the comments, the first like 15 are going to be shit jokes that don't make you giggle or exhale at all, only serving to make you just irate because you maybe wanted a real answer or a real discussion, and you're not getting it. Not in the comment section on Reddit. But anyway, here's the first thread. How do I get spiders out of my car? Obviously the first answer, burn it to the ground and change your last name. A real side splitter for sure, not exactly helpful, but goddammit, that comedy is unique, original, wacky, and zany. And that's gotta count for something, so the updoots to the left, am I right? Edit, thanks for the gold, kind stranger, wasn't expecting this, oh my gosh. Edit 2, wow, platinum, holy shit, time to add chocolate to the milk and go wild to celebrate, kind stranger. Now let's go ahead and scroll down, surely it's only, the top comment that has such a great joke. Surely they can't all be busting out unique bangers. Surprisingly, that joke didn't spawn a pun thread, but luckily for us it didn't. Underneath that, though, we're gifted with another great joke. Put some tarantulas in there to eat the smaller spiders. Large spiders are easier to keep track of. Oh, well, I do tip my fedora to that one. Still no actual advice yet. A classic double whammy. It's an Ultima. Fire is the best option. Fill it with frogs. Well, my gentle sirs, these are quite comedic. Finally, at the very bottom of the page with a whopping 2 points, an actual suggestion, glue traps, and a link to them. Now, actually, unironically helpful, that's not a bad idea. Glue traps for insects, it makes sense. But what do the other experts on the website say? Let's go to another thread, which is basically just a carbon copy of this one's commenters. Different threads, same comedy, baby, because for some reason all Reddit commenters are basically just carbon copies of each other. Go ahead and take a guess at what the top comment's gonna be. Spoiler alert, it's fire. Because of course it is. On Reddit, everything that even deals with anything even yucky to the smallest degree, anything with an insect, you can guarantee the top comment in the thread is gonna be, kill it with fire, or something with fire. Next highest upvoted, I believe ammonia and bleach create chlorine gas. You're right. So if you want to go World War I on their ass, that might be an option. To be fair, this comment actually has sentimental value to me, because I accidentally created chlorine gas when I tried to kill a cockroach once. I talked about that in a video, so that one I don't really have a problem with. I just thought I'd point it out. Luckily, right under that one, we go right back to the standard, set it on fire. I like the reply, lol, as if they'd never heard that before, or perhaps they just always laugh anytime they see that. Next, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. It's their car now. Scorpions. Definitely scorpions. That's another big one. It's theirs now. They own it. You lost it. Shit like that. That one's also just as common as fire. So I guess it's not exactly a 100% guarantee it's going to be set it on fire when it's dealing with insects, because it has to compete with it's theirs now. Those are always battling for the top spot. GIF of a car on fire, snakes, sell it, elephants, get some funnel web spiders and dump them in and then eat the other spiders. And then one guy accidentally almost lends some pseudo advice, but his advice is basically just saying, you might be fucked. None of this helpful, of course, but very humorous, obviously. New thread, same top comment, gasoline, and says light it on fire in the reply. Milking every ounce of karma he can out of that joke, I guess. Bye birds, lady who swallowed a fly, just more fucking garbage. This guy really drops a fat comedy routine on this one. Release a snake to catch it, then you're gonna want to lock a mongoose in there for a few days to kill the snake. Once that happens, you need a large mammal like a wolf to get the mongoose. After this, you'll need to find a gorilla to let loose in the car. They're excellent at wolf wrangling. Come winter, the gorilla will just die off from the cold. Which is more than the guy underneath him who actually lent a little advice received. Nothing a good car fire won't fix, it just goes on and on and on. While I think absolutely the jokes suck ass on their own and are used a million times ad nauseum, I'm not here to just be the joke police. What's frustrating is when you're looking for real answers like we were today, and all you get is the same goddamn middle school lunch table joke that you've heard ever since you were a goddamn child and seen on every thread ever posted on the website. Burn it with fire. Get a snake, lol. It's their car now, lol. Epic lol, thanks for the gold. It's so frustrating. And that's only scratching the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the wiener on how just frustrating and stupid Reddit comments are. That's throwing away witch hunts, which are huge in the comment sections and 9 times out of 10 are wrong anyway, a la Boston Bomber. That's the biggest one. That one Reddit will never live down. It's just this most hostile place and the most humorless place on the internet. Fucking Twitter comment threads that are just GIF responses and shit pictures are more entertaining than seeing the same fucking joke every single time at the top comment in the Reddit thread, the top fucking 20 comments. I mean, if you want to make the dumb joke, you know, burn it down, kill it with fire, lol, do that, and then after that put a period and then real advice, which admittedly some people in these threads did, but they were buried at the bottom. Buried. Giving real advice? No. Give me that same stupid goddamn joke. But anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to vent about it, because today I was getting frustrated for Andrew, with Andrew. Just so dumb. It's so stupid. Just racing to tell the dumbest fucking joke that everyone's already heard a million times on the goddamn website. Anyway, that's it. That's why Reddit's reputation in the comments is pretty goddamn awful. So yeah. Yeah, I did it. I went where no one should go. I watched the first 2 episodes of Velma. I'm not a hero. I'm just doing what any man would do in my position to protect the people he cares about. You. What I've just done today, this brave stunt, is basically diving on a live grenade in order to shield you from the unbearable, insufferable cringe of this show. Don't be deceived by this propaganda that's floating all around Twitter, where they're wiggling their finger or twirling their shirts over their head celebrating that Velma had the biggest premiere day for an HBO Max original animated series. Don't be fooled here. Don't let the devil pull the wool over your eyes here. This is a little Jedi mind trick here. The reason this had the biggest premiere for an animated show on HBO Max is because it's the only animated show left on HBO Max. They canceled every other cartoon they've ever fucking had, pretty much. It's been a huge controversy over the last, 6 months. They don't have animated shows left. Thus, this is the only one, so of course it's going to be the biggest premiere. This accolade is completely meaningless. It's like me proudly proclaiming that I have the largest wiener in this house right now, because I'm the only fucking person in this house. Like, there's no competition. It doesn't hold any weight. Just because Velma had the biggest premiere for an animated show means absolutely nothing when there is no other animated shows on HBO Max that it competes with. So I don't think the show is popular for what it's worth, but I don't think I'm alone in being a hate watcher of it. I watched it knowing full well I probably wasn't going to like it. I was super open to being pleasantly surprised, but that didn't happen. In fact, the first 2 episodes are worse than I expected from watching the trailer. I was very generous and gave the smallest chance that perhaps the trailer only highlighted the show's stinkiest moments, but I was very, very wrong. The show is stinkier than 3 garbage trucks having sex in a sulfur factory. It is fucking terrible. And I'd like to go over some of it right now. So I've watched the first 2 episodes. I, of course, can't show any clips from it for obvious reasons, so I'm just gonna have to paint a picture of the things that I witnessed, the atrocities, the fucking torture. Obviously, this is all my opinion, but I do think you can make an argument that it's factual because everyone seems to hate this show, even critics. So I think this is just one of those, like, unifying moments where everyone comes together to hate something equally because the show is just that awful. Now, I will say, I do think a lot of this was actually written by ChatGPT. A lot of these jokes feel AI generated, and one thing that stayed consistent from episode 1 and episode 2 is they used the same joke formula at least 50 fucking times, and I'm not exaggerating. When they didn't know what kind of joke to make or how to inject humor into a situation when they were going over their quota for bad jokes to fucking ham-fist in here, they'd always fall back on the tried and true getting meta with its comedy. So they'll say things like, oh, this is that part in rom-com shows where we're supposed to kiss, but this isn't a rom-com show, so we shouldn't kiss. But if it was rom-com, we'd like totally kiss right now. Or in the very first episode, they pulled like a full-blown Big Mouth here where they just have like asses of these high school, like 15-year-olds or whatever, just all over the place in the showers. And they're talking about like, don't you ever find it weird how in like rom-com shows, they really put a lot of gratuitous nudity and sexual references in their first episode, but then it kind of dwindles off and it's not indicative of the rest of the show? That's so weird, right? As their like asses are all over the place, it's supposed to be like really meta, like, haha, oh, they're in on the joke, haha, yeah, shows do that. It's so fucking tiresome and gets really, really grating. It's not just like a bad joke, but it's a joke that's so bad and used so many times that it just begins to get like frustrating to hear. Which is kind of like an irrational response to hearing a bad joke, and I get that. But like after the 50th fucking time of me hearing them set up that same thing of like, oh, well, this is actually just like in that movie where I'm supposed to solve this mystery, but that movie had a weird ending, so I'm hoping that here that won't happen because, I mean, it's not a movie. It's just, I can't stand it. And they do it so often. Now, setting aside just like that series of bad jokes, every joke in here isn't good. And it's not even close. I don't even think they tried to make good humor here. I don't really know what they tried to accomplish, but it's all over the place. So, first of all, they made Velma the most unlikable character in the show. She's like a genuine douchebag, like a huge asshole. She judges everyone, she's rude to everyone, she insults everyone, she's mean to literally everyone. Norville, who's supposed to be the equivalent of Shaggy in here, like, just confesses to Velma like he has feelings for her, and she laughs in his face, calling him like a fucking comedian loser because she'd never actually have any feelings for him. He's such an unlovable, unlikable loser. It's so humorous that he'd even pretend that he has a chance with her. So she just keeps laughing in his face about how it was such like a side-splitting, gut-busting joke that he has feelings for her because she just looks at him like a brother and nothing else. So it's so laughable that he'd actually feel that way. It's hard to like her in any capacity. She is like the actual embodiment of just the worst character. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they're gonna like try and evolve her to be more likable as the show goes on. It kind of like hints that that's the direction they're going, but that's still a stupid direction to take it. You took the Scooby-Doo IP and borrowed the characters' names, and you didn't even bring Scooby with you, which I actually think is for the best now. After watching the first 2 episodes, I'm glad they took Scooby behind the barn and put him down because he did not deserve this. This is a fate worse than death. So I'm happy he's not here to be absolutely fucking ruined here. But they took the character names, they have Velma here, and they've made her fucking insufferable. Why? It's not a fun character arc to follow this person become less insufferable as she learns to stop being a judgmental piece of shit. But the crazy thing is, I wouldn't even care about the direction they took Velma if they just made her entertaining. Like, if she could just make me laugh. but she couldn't. I started sweating from how much I wasn't laughing. Like, my body knew this was supposed to be a comedy going into it, but there wasn't any ha-has. Everything out of Velma's mouth is just rude. And almost everything she says is about a person's skin color or, like, their occupation or what they're going through, like hardships, and shitting on them for it. She is just unlikable, like a character you can never root for in any capacity. It really feels like half the ideas they had for this show are just like the worst ideas you and your friends would have had 15 years ago, like, what if Velma was dealing drugs? Haha. And then it's in the show. Yeah, there's like a whole big arc of her dealing drugs poorly. And then at the end of the second episode, her and Daphne start making out, even though they've just been shitting on each other the entire show so far. But then they start making out. So that's pretty hype, I guess. The whole thing with this show is I really feel like all of it was so lazily thrown together. There's clearly not a whole lot of passion behind it, and it really feels like there's a deep-seated hatred of the Scooby-Doo IP in general here with what they're doing to this thing. It's just bad. But if you are a tiny dick joke enthusiast, man, do I have some good news for you. You're going to get a lot of bang out of your buck from this show, a lot of mileage from that, because there are so many jokes about Fred having a tiny penis, and every time it makes you just slap your knee with a big old smile on your face because it's so good. I'm also being a bit fast and loose with the definition of a joke here because they don't actually make jokes about Fred's small cock. They just say that he has a small cock often. There's not like a joke attached to it. They're just like, oh yeah, and then Fred has a small wiener. And that's it. Like, there's nothing more to it. It becomes like a plot point, like Fred has a small wiener, so he might have killed one of the girls because she might have seen his small penis. And that's the joke. After having watched the available episodes, I once again have to wonder, who is this for? I just can't imagine any audience that would sit down and actually have a hoot and a holler watching this show. It doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't make you laugh. It isn't enjoyable. Doesn't have a good story. Doesn't have good writing or characters. There's no characters that you could even possibly like in the show. It's all just so flat, boring, and if it's not just boring, it's just infuriating to watch because it just keeps repeating the same fucking shit over and over again throughout 2 episodes. Like, I don't understand how they thought that was a good idea. Even if you go into this a huge fan of that style of writing where it's like, well, this is the part in rom-coms where this happens. Oh, this reminds me of that rom-com where that happened. Even if you love that style of writing, they do it so much in here that by the end of it, I have to imagine you're going to hate it. It's just not good at all. So early moist meter is looking like a 10% here, but we'll see how the rest of the series goes. That's about it. See ya. Piotr Zarek. I'm saying the name out loud immediately at the start of this video so that way I don't forget how to pronounce his name. I'm sure I'm going to fumble it later on, but at the very least you can say I got it right once. Anyway, he has made such a colossal fool of himself that he has torched not only his reputation, but that of his company as well. Piotr Zarek, Piotr Zarek, it's crazy how quickly I already forgot how to say his name, Goober, is a Polish CEO and multimillionaire. He is the CEO of a company called Drogbrook. And I think I pronounced that incorrectly as well because I made that sound like a Warhammer 40k weapon. And right now he's like one of the most hated people on the planet for a clip that just went Insano style. This is far from the first time something like this has happened, but I've mainly seen it in baseball, where some oily dude who looks like he sweats grease and is anamorphing into a hot dog ends up like catching a baseball that was intended for a kid next to him. And in those cases, they typically try and cope by saying, oh, I thought it was for me, I wasn't sure, we were all trying to catch the ball, something like that. This is probably one of the most blatant cases, though. So, this is a tennis player named Matrzak. He was giving his hat to a kid, and the Polish CEO, Piotr, he had another idea right there. He fucking intercepts that, he snatches it out of the kid's hands, and then you can even hear the kid say, no, what are you doing? And the answer to that question is simple. He's looking out for number one. You don't get to be top of the food chain, big time CEO without taking a little candy from some babies. That's exactly what he's doing. He's giving this kid a life lesson. You thought you were getting a gift? Nope. Sometimes it's not Santa Claus that pays you a visit, it's Krampus. And right now he's coming in the form of a scrawny douchebag CEO named Piotr. And the story has a much worse ending for him than it does for the kid, because this blew up to such an incredible degree that Matsuzak was able to actually learn about it and then meet up with that kid later to give him another hat as well as an autograph, so the kid got to meet him and everything. Meanwhile, Piotr receives the ire and all of the tomatoes thrown by the entire world, and his company is now going up in flames because of his behavior here. But at least he has that hat that he took out of a kid's hands, I guess. That can go over the fireplace mantle, I suppose. Now, I feel like I should put this in here somewhere because it's receiving so much steam. There is allegedly a statement from Piotr himself. There are even some outlets reporting this as like an official response, but I can find no evidence that Piotr or anyone that represents him actually made this statement. This to me feels like that initial Coldplay CEO situation where after he was caught cheating, there was a statement put out on his behalf even though he had nothing to do with it and it ended up being completely fraudulent and false. That to me feels like what this is because it is so comically villainous that I just don't believe it, and I can't find like any actual evidence to support its authenticity, but I'm going to put it here anyway because everyone seems to be talking about it. I would say take this with a grain of salt. I'm not convinced this actually comes from him. This is what people are claiming is the original, and then when you translate it, you get this. The recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. I love that statement. Like, even though I think this isn't real, I just love the famous hat. As if it's like the #1 soda drink hat from SpongeBob with Smitty Werben Jensen, whatever his name was. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first served. I understand that some people might not like it, but please let's not make a global scandal out of the hat. It's just a hat. If you were faster, you would have it. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. In the end, chin up, hats off, less venom, more sportsmanship. Like I said, I don't actually believe this comes from Piotr or anyone who represents him. I think it's just a bunch of fish paste here. It's too over the top. And someone like Piotr, a multi-millionaire CEO, would absolutely have a lawyer or a PR firm put out a statement on his behalf that definitely wouldn't have, yes, I did it, and yes, I did it quickly. If you were faster, you wouldn't have lost it. If you're not first, you're last. Though that would be a crazy twist if this is actually real, and that's the statement they made. Adult reflexes are faster. I was just... evolution chose me to be the recipient of that hat. If that kid was meant to have it, well, then he should have acted quicker. Grow up, nerd. Could have been your hat if you were half the man as me. I would be very shocked to learn that this is real. I really think it's just way too over the top. And it seems like it is meant to be in your face and, like, eye-catching and incendiary. I imagine another, like, motivator for something like this isn't just to, like, take the piss. It's probably to further, like, ruin the reputation of the person. So people will make, like, really inflammatory pieces like this, like with the Coldplay CEO. So that way people get even more upset. And a surefire way of doing that is threatening legal action against people that speak out against him. That is, like, the #1 sign that it's probably fake. While legal action is something a lot of these, like, rich fucking out-of-touch zombies in suits do, I can't imagine, and I certainly haven't seen many cases, of them coming out and being like, if you say anything mean about me, you're being sued. That, so far, has been mainly reserved for fake statements like this. That definitely wouldn't be in there, and it also wouldn't have, like, a sign-off with, like, like fucking poetry. Chin up, less venom, hats off, that kind of thing. That's like almost like a Sonic the Hedgehog level thing there. That's just, it's not real. I don't think this is legitimate. There's also another statement, apparently from a law firm in Poland who is representing Piotr, who is making legal threats about people that are insulting him and slandering him online, which I can find no evidence to being true. I haven't seen that law firm make any statements about the, actual case here that they're representing Piotr in or anything of the sort. It all just seems like a wild goose chase here. This seems to be the new common trend where anytime there's like a big drama story, a bunch of people will scramble to make up some fake shit around it so they can post it online for some immediate updates to try and get paid off of like Twitter engagement farming. That seems to be the goal of it, and it just creates a bunch of confusion and muddies the waters so then you don't know what's true and what's not with it. I did also want to drop this little nugget here in your lap that I learned about. So he is apparently an amateur competitive tennis player himself, whom I imagine is going to be the heel going forward in all of his matches. Most people are probably going to be booing him from this point forward when he competes. And he actually has a private tennis court at his home, and his wife was quoted saying, "It was the most wonderful gift of my life. Our employees came up with the idea and my husband helped them implement it." Now, far be it from me to question the workplace culture here. You're telling me the employees said that their boss deserves to have his own private tennis court? It was their idea? Really? I don't... Does that happen in Polish companies? Do the employees love their bosses so much that they get together and say, "We want our boss to have his own private tennis court"? Can we do that? Come on, guys, let's band together and let's try and pitch this idea to our boss that he should have his own private tennis court in his home. What do we say, huh? What do you say about that? He's a superstar. We love him. I'm just trying to imagine that perspective over here in America in the corporate world. Like, Bill Gates does an interview. It's like, yeah, I wasn't convinced that I needed a 4 billion mile yacht, but, well, all my Microsoft employees said, "Bill, you deserve it." So I said, okay, I guess for you guys, I'll go ahead and try and find a way to get that made. I don't know, it just feels so weird to me, that statement. I mean, maybe the employees really do love him and they all banded together to try and help him with the private tennis court as like a good idea. I don't know. He doesn't really seem like a guy that's easy to love. He's literally taking a fucking hat meant for a kid at a tennis court in front of everybody. No shame at all. Even when the kid's like talking directly to him, he just ignores the kid, pretending he can't hear him. He doesn't seem like really a great guy that a lot of people would cheer for and be behind, but I guess maybe this is just one of his lower moments. Maybe he didn't even see the kid there. Maybe he thought the hat was meant for him. And the resistance from the kid, maybe he thought the kid was trying to steal the hat from him. Who knows? Maybe there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I'm kidding. Obviously there's not. There's no way to justify blatantly just taking this hat from the kid. I don't know. The guy seems like he super sucks. Anyway, Piotr, big douchebag. That's about it. See ya. I stream often, and boy howdy do I put on an exquisite show if I do say so myself, but don't just take my word for it, ask everyone that shows up. When you come to my streams, you get to see me without my makeup on, you get me raw, you get to hear me pee when nature calls, and you get to hear me rant. And one of the things I love to rant about is how much insurance is a scam. In particular, health insurance. Surprise, surprise. My feelings on it are no secret. I've screamed it from the mountaintops for a couple years now. I think I've only made like 1 or 2 videos on it, but stream regulars are probably tired of hearing me bitch about it. But can't help it. I think it is one of the most diabolical, corrupt, evil industries that operates in this country right now. It is deplorable. I think it is a Schmeckeldorfing goblin that's taking people's money and eating their ass, waiting for them to die. You pay health insurance providers for years, and then when you need them, you ask them to help with something major. They do everything in their power to not do that. Their job, their goal, and they even use AI now to help with this, is to deny these claims. That's where they make their bread and butter. You pay them for one purpose, and their goal is to find ways of not doing the one thing they're designed for. It's like if you bought a washing machine that only sometimes decides it'll wash your clothes, but it picks and chooses which ones you're allowed to wash inside of it. It's so stupid. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I am somehow still surprised at the depravity of this industry. United Healthcare just threatened legal action against a doctor who recently went viral when she was talking about how United Healthcare pulled her out of an active operation in order to ask her if an overnight stay was really necessary. I'll go ahead and play that clip before we dive into this threat from United Healthcare.
I just did 2 bilateral deeps and 2 bilateral tissue expanders for patients. And I've never had this happen before, but during the second deep, I got a phone call into the operating room saying that United Healthcare wanted me to call them about one of the patients who was having surgery today, who was actually asleep having surgery. And, said I had to call right now. So I scrubbed out of my case and I called United Healthcare, and the gentleman said he needed some information about her, wanted to know her diagnosis and whether her inpatient stay should be justified. And I was like, do you understand that she's asleep right now? And she has breast cancer. And the gentleman said, actually, I don't. That's a different department that would know that information. And I was like, well, she does need to stay overnight tonight. And you have all the information with you because I got approval for this surgery. And I need to go back and be with my patient now. But yeah, it's out of control.
Out of control doesn't even begin to describe it. My moose knuckle is out of control when I slip into a pair of joggers. This is beyond out of control. This is just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Health insurance companies are at their happiest when you are at your worst. When they deny a claim and get to save a little bit of money there, pinch a few pennies, avoiding doing the thing you pay them for, they pop champagne over your cold fucking corpse. And don't worry, you'll go to Valhalla knowing that at least United Healthcare made a little extra money at the bottom line. In a just world, this shit would be outlawed. It's just unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. So, she's describing United Healthcare apparently pulling her out of a procedure in order to check with her if this is something that's actually justified. Yeah, asshole, it is justified, I would think. And also, now you are putting the patient at risk, interrupting an active procedure. It's craziness. It's craziness. Just actually flabbergasted by this story. I'm spitting. I don't know if you could see that. It was a water fountain of spit there. So much saliva. Point is, this doctor was in the middle of a procedure, and United Healthcare made her stop so that way they could see if they could find a way of denying this claim, which eventually they did, by the way. They did deny that claim, allegedly. That claim, it did get denied. Shocker from United Healthcare, the health insurance company with the most denied claims in the nation. Also, now that there's this prevalence of AI to help deny claims, they're getting even more efficient with it, something I'm sure they're very proud of. It's unbelievable. I've already talked about that video quite a bit on stream, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it. You can see the lunacy. You can, with your own peepers, your own functioning frontal lobe, you can watch what the doctor's saying there and be pretty outraged by it. Justifiably so. Now, United Healthcare is slapping back saying that it's a load of hooey. This is all just dirty barnacles. It's a false claim, and the doctor's spreading misinformation, and so they're threatening her with a lawsuit about it. We're going to go through that because, United Healthcare doesn't really have the best reputation when it comes to telling the truth. And it's just a shocking move from them to play this hardball here in the wake of everything they've been going through. Their CEO got banished to the Shadow Realm not that long ago, and people are still celebrating that. And the company, instead of trying to, take that as a message of, wow, people hate us for some reason, maybe we should, reflect and see what we can do to be better, they're instead being worse. They are actively being worse. It's like they dislike that people don't like them, so they're trying to give them even more reasons to hate them. Like, oh, you guys already don't like us? Well, fuck it, we're gonna stop pretending to care. It's scorched earth now, we're not paying for shit. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if United Healthcare initiates a new protocol where they start stationing agents at every hospital in order to monitor everything and just deny shit on the spot. Nope. I wrote this down on the clipboard. It's only 2 broken legs. The morphine will not be covered by us. Unnecessary. Not justified. And then going into every surgical procedure. Stop everything! Halt! Halt! We're denying this one. This surgery this is frivolous. It's a frivolous surgery. The patient is more than capable of living his life without a liver or a kidney. So why are we doing this transplant? This is ridiculous. Denied. He's faking it. Anyway, though, let's dive back into the meat and focus on what the actual topic is here today. So that post came from a surgeon, Elizabeth Potter. It blew up on TikTok and Instagram, and now UHC, they're pouting. They're really upset. So they're accusing her of libel, and also there was some threats of legal retaliation if she didn't comply, which was taking the videos down and issuing a public apology. They wanted her to grovel at their feet, kiss their little tootsies, and basically say, I was wrong about everything. They accused her of knowingly sharing misinformation and also hosting threats against the company's executives because people in the comments were obviously making references to the assassination. Your claims are false. You clearly know they are false. You falsely laid the blame for your office's error on United Healthcare publicly, unleashing a firestorm of dangerous misinformation. We expect you to promptly correct this publicly by removing your videos and posting a public apology. The cease and desist has been reported by Bloomberg. Also, United Healthcare hired the preeminent defamation law firm Claire Locke, which has a really impressive resume in defamation cases. Hey, big fuck you to Claire Locke. You should deny this one. Of course they're not going to. They're going to try and hose United Healthcare for all they're worth in this defamation case that they're mounting against a surgeon who is just spreading the word about how fucking corrupt this company is. Now, she did post on her Instagram saying, I recently shared a video after I was asked to call United Healthcare from the operating room to answer administrative questions about the patient who was having surgery to treat breast cancer. Despite my efforts, they denied her stay. Wow. What saints over there at UHC really looking after the care of their clients. That's, wow, man. The benevolent gods over at UHC. We are so lucky that we get to suckle their bosom, and they take care of us. They help us in our time of need. That's so lovely. Denied her stay. That's so fucking par for the course for this company. I spoke out because this has simply gone too far. I'm sharing United Healthcare's letter to me in its entirety. I'll let it speak for itself. My words were true and the situation was absurd. I followed all safety protocol and my patient was with my co-surgeon who continued operating. I had requested an overnight stay for medical reasons. This was not an error on my part. I also think most normal, rational people would also think that probably an overnight stay after a very serious breast cancer surgery operation makes sense. That tracks. That doesn't seem like they're trying to get one over on United Healthcare over there. I feel like that's definitely something that's super justified, but hey, United Healthcare, they've got AI now helping them out to deny these claims. Like, they're really good at this shit now. The gaslighting and harassment in the letter which United sent me has not worked to do anything other than strengthen my resolve. I will continue to speak honestly, clearly, and plainly about the state of healthcare in the United States of America. That's great news that she's not folding to this intimidation. I really hope this goes her way. I believe her story. And do you know why? Because there are thousands of horror stories with United Healthcare. Ask anybody on the street if they've had a positive experience with their healthcare provider. I would imagine you'd be hard-pressed to find a single, even lukewarm response like, oh, it was okay, I guess. No, it's almost always entirely negative with these companies, and United Healthcare is legitimately, statistically, provably the worst one. They have the most denied claims. If you gathered every grain of sand on planet Earth and piled it all together, it probably wouldn't even amount to the amount of denied claims United Healthcare is responsible for at this point. It's just out of control. Completely out of control. So yeah, I just had to rant about this again. I could not believe this when Matt sent it to me, that United Healthcare has the fucking chutzpah to threaten this surgeon after she spoke about her experience with an absurd situation with this company. Unbelievable. That's about it. See ya.